Hello everyone, welcome to the 200 Q&A practice. We're going to start off with the basic transcript and defense is questioning. Ready? So you are taking it easy, but you participate in some things I'm not. Are you on year-round school? Yes. Does that start in June? It probably started on July 4th, I think. Probably about July 5th? July 5th, yeah, July 5th. Have you received any quarterly grades yet? Yes. Okay. What school do you go to? Hesperia High. Okay, how are your grades in school for the first quarter? Well, I got an A and a B, a couple of B's, I think, and a C and a D, but the D plus is in geometry, so I can understand that one. And now I got a tutor, so what did you get the A in? I don't really remember. I think it was in, I don't know. Do you remember the grades that you received in the classes? What did you get the B in? The B I got in Honors English, and I think I got a B in PE. What about the C? Was that one of your science classes? Biology. I don't know why, but girls just don't do good in biology. All the other kids in the two classes, geometry and biology, they're more or less sophomores and juniors, and I'm a freshman, so it's kind of hard for me. In both of them, the teachers told me that there is more than likely all the ninth graders that will flunk. So that's nice. That's encouraging. It makes you want to try. So we've eliminated all of the honors English and PE, biology, and geometry, right? I think wait, that could be French I got an A in. Okay, good luck on that. Do you walk to school? No. Your mother drives you? No, my friend's mom takes me. Have you taken any trips within the past 2 years where you are required to sit more than 2 hours at a time? Any airline trips or anything like that? Oh no. Taken all day long extended trips? I've taken vacations, but we always get out and walk like say every 2 hours. Did you drive across state? Oh no, not that far. The farthest I think I've been was, I can't remember. Was it within the last 2 years? I think I went up to San Francisco within the last 2 years, so that must have been the furthest. So somebody drove you to San Francisco? Yes. Okay, did you go with your mom? No. You went with some friends? No, I went with my dad's mom and dad, not my mom's. So your grandparents on your father's side? Yes, yes. How soon after the accident did that happen? Oh, I'd say about 5 or 6 months after. Did you have any problems with your back during that trip? Yes, and I had my grandma rub it every night before I went to bed, and sometimes during the night I'd wake her up because I'd start crying. Did you take any Advil for that? Yes. What did you do in San Francisco? Did you go sightseeing? Yes, we did. You walked around and things like that? Not really. Window shopping? Sometimes window shopping. Mostly we just went to the sites and we saw them and left. I didn't do much walking. Okay, let's go off the record for a minute. Back on the record. When you got out of the car after the two impacts, there were two impacts, and you got out of the car and you looked at some of the damage and you saw the other car on top of the truck on top of the other car. Did you hear anything said between any of the people involved in the accident? Did you hear the man talk or your mother talk? I heard my mom talk. What did your mom say? She said, "Sir, could you please turn off your car? And I don't think you want it running because it's leaking." Okay. And then she goes, "Could I have your license?" and stuff like that. Did you hear any further conversations? I didn't hear nothing bad. After your truck was hit from behind, did it move forward any? Yes. How far forward did it move? You want me to estimate? An estimate is fine. Was it further than this table in front of me? I'd say it was around 5 feet, something like that. The truck that your mother was driving, was it a stick shift? Yes. You said you saw her put her foot on the brake after the first impact. Does that mean she had her foot off the brake at the time? No, she had it on the brake, but she pushed it harder, like it went all the way to the ground. It touched the ground. Okay, so as far as you can recall, your mother had her foot on the brake at the time she was hit from behind, and then she pressed on it harder. I know for sure, yes. You saw that happen? Yes. Nothing further. Can I ask just one real question? Can I ask one question real quick? Okay, so I'm going to stop there and switch transcripts. All right. Let's see. This is going to be defense attorney as well. Do you see any distinguishing features on the individual sitting here in court that you recall seeing on the person that held the rifle on the night of the 18th of February? Your Honor, I'm going to object as being beyond the scope of cross-examination. Overruled, you may answer. The individual that I see in court here has a few of the same characteristics as the individual who held the rifle, in that his hair is parted in the same manner, and that his hair is of the same length and color. Facial features appear to me as if they may have been the individual that robbed me. When you saw A standing in the position you previously testified to, how far away was he from where you were standing? From where I was standing? Yes. The distance is less than 4 feet, and I lost track of him because I was concentrating on Y and Z. This individual that spoke up, that was not the man with the rifle, is that correct? The man who made the statement? In my estimation, the man who did the speaking was not the man with the rifle. You heard no one else say anything? No, not to my recollection. No further questions. Redirect examination? I have no further questions. You may step down, Mr. Sokol, and you are excused if counsel has no problem. No objection. No objection. I'd like to have a moment to discuss something with our officer before we proceed. We'll take a 5-minute recess. Your Honor, I believe there will be a stipulation at this time between the district attorney and the defendant that the person who was apprehended with the rifle by the officers was not the defendant, Mr. Heron. So stipulated. All right, that will be a stipulation. People call Officer Girk. Okay, state your full name and spell your last. My name is Ronald Girk, G-I-R-K. Go ahead, counsel. Mr. Girk, what is your occupation? I am a police officer for the city of Anaheim. In the course of your employment as a police officer for the city of Anaheim, did you have occasion to interview the gentleman seated at the far end of the council table? Yes, I did. Was he known to you as Joseph Heron? Yes, sir. Prior to your interviewing him, did you advise him of his constitutional rights? Yes, I did. Did you use a card? Yes. Did you have that card that you used? Yes. Do I or did I? Do you have it now? Yes. Did you read from that card? Yes, sir. Would you read that from the card now as you did on that occasion? Sure, yes, sir. You have the absolute right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to talk to an attorney, to have him present with you while you are being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire an attorney, one will be appointed by the court free of charge to represent you before any questioning, if you so desire. After you made those statements to Mr. Heron, did you ask whether or not he understood what you explained to him? Yes, sir, I did. Okay, we have just a few more minutes. I'm going to switch it over to this testimony of the gentleman that saw the devil in the bar. Here we go. Take the stand, please. State your name into the microphone, please. My name is Bridget Blair Bye. Please spell your name, please. BridgetBlairBye. Go ahead, counsel. Bridget, would you tell us what your relationship is, if any, to Gary Johnson? He is my stepfather. Would you tell us where you were living on December 6, 2012? At 13362 Diamond Head Drive. Do you remember that evening? Yes, I do. Do you remember anything unusual happening that evening? Yes. Do you recall when you first heard about something unusual happening? Well, I just woke up and my father was running. He was running around acting like he was crazy or something was wrong, and I wanted to see what was happening. Did you then see your father? Yes, I did. What was he doing? He was standing there just looking around like he was so scared that he was out of his mind. Did you hear him say anything? He said that the devil chased him home and that the devil was going to kill us and he was trying to save us from him, and he had been in our life, in our house for 10 years. Did you say anything to your father? I told him, it's okay, Dad, just calm down. Did he seem to be listening to you? He looked at me real funny like he didn't know. He sort of sensed what I said, but he didn't really know. After you talked to him, did you see him do anything? He just got up and started walking around, and he was in the kitchen, and he just stood there, and he goes, I can't stand it any longer. I've had it. Then what did he do? He goes, there He is again, the devil, and he hit the top of the hood. Where were you standing at that time? Do you recall? Do you recall where you were standing? In the kitchen. Do you recall anybody else being in the kitchen at that time? My mom. Do you recall what your father did after he hit the hood? He just started running around and screaming, and he was just sort of like crying because he was so scared. He was just frightened to death. Did you see him run any place other than into the kitchen? In my mom's bathroom. Did you see him do anything in the bathroom? No, the door was closed. Did you see him when he came out of the bathroom? Yes. What did he do, if anything? It looked like he went into the front room and loaded his gun. Did you see him load the gun? No. Do you know what kind of gun it was? It looked like a handgun. After he loaded the handgun, do you know what he did? He just started walking around with it and pointing it around and yelling, "I'm going to kill him, the devil." When he was walking around and pointing this gun, did you say anything to him? I told him there is no way he can kill the devil because it's a spirit. You have to get him out of your heart and out of your life before you can get rid of him. Did he answer you? No, not really. He just kind of was in a daze, just kind of looking at us funny. Do you recall whether or not he was dressed at this time? He had on a pair of jeans and moccasins. Do you recall what happened after you saw your father with a gun? Well, my mom and I were just trying to talk to him, and I kept telling him there is no use. You can't use a gun on the devil. And so my mom conned him into giving it to her. Then she gave it to me, and I hid it. Do you remember where you hid the gun? I don't recall. After you hid the gun, then what did you do? I just started talking to him. I sat him down, and I sat on his lap, and I just started to calm him down. And you know, we were just talking about how there is no way you can kill the devil. Was he answering you at all? He was just sitting there going, I know, I know. He was just kind of out of it. After you were sitting on his lap, did you then get off of his lap? Yes, I did. Okay, that concludes the Q&A practice for the 200 class. Have a great day.